Tell me you're on a surgery rotation. Tell me you're on a surgery rotation without telling me. I know no peace right now. None. None at all. It's like an episode of The Office.
Alright, let's do a mockumentary. We're not mocking anyone.
You ready for me, baby?
As of the release of today's video, I would have gone through 233 days and I have 130 days left of my intern year. But who's counting, really? Which does mean mathematically that I've gone through way past half of my intern year of residency, which begs a lot of questions. One, do I feel more like a doctor now? Two, how much sanity do I have left? And three, most importantly, what lessons have I learned throughout this entire process? Because it's a lot, and I would hope I've taken something out of this for me to subject myself to this entirely by choice. And as much as I could probably yap for hours on like how many lessons I've been taught in just a short amount of time, I am gonna distill it down to 3 big lessons I've learned at this, milestone, I guess if you would call it, as an intern doctor. Some of which are big lessons that I wish I knew before I applied to residency and even applied to Yale. So let's get right into it. This is new. This is very new to me. Since my last actual vlog, I think I've completed more MICU, more medicine, and I'm almost done with my last block of surgery right now. So sorry if vlogs just kind of fade out because I'm tired. I've put in a lot of hours. And I have my in-training exam for anesthesia this Friday, which hilariously enough, they don't really expect much from you because they know that all this exam is going to be about is anesthesia, and you just haven't been on anesthesia for all of intern year. And I'm going to be taking this exam on less than 3 hours of sleep because I'm on surgery. But thanks to the sponsor of today's video, TrueLearn, I can still at least attempt to know what I'm doing on this exam. I've said before numerous times on this channel, and I still stand by it, practice tests and practice questions are by far the most efficient and powerful way to prepare for your standardized exams, something medical training has a disappointingly large amount of. But in order to lighten the load and help you excel in your tests, I am proud to partner with TrueLearn, the sponsor of today's video. TrueLearn is a data-driven test prep resource with a 100% pass rate trusted by top institutions such as Stanford, Mayo, Harvard, and of course here at Yale. Their smart banks with questions written by content experts give you the tools to succeed on your crucial board exams throughout your medical career. As a medical student, they offer prep for all your COMLEX and USMLEs, including shelf exams, but it doesn't stop there. You have the same attention to detail and world-class practice test questions for PA, dental hygiene, MA, NP, nursing, OT, PT, speech therapy, pharmacy, and pharmacy tech licensing exams. For my residents in particular, you have all the resources for your in-training exams such as the ABA Basic for anesthesia, ABSITE, ABEM, and much more. I've been using some of their smart banks to prep for my anesthesiology in-training exam in the spring, and I've been blown away by their performance analytics, real-time national benchmarking, and thorough explanations that help me to learn the most from even my most facepalm-inducing incorrect answers. With thousands of questions for each exam, you will be sure to have all the knowledge to knock your exams out of the park. If you would like to try TrueLearn, use code NDMD25 for $25 off your first TrueLearn subscription. Again, that's code NDMD25 for $25 off TrueLearn's incredible smart banks. Happy studying, best of luck to everyone prepping for exams as they watch or listen, and thank you so much to TrueLearn for sponsoring this video and supporting this channel. I've been so tired from surgery. I woke up 10 minutes before I need to be at the in-training exam center. I'm sprinting right now. It's still a beautiful day. Snacks. I speed ran that so badly. Literally on 3 hours of sleep taking that exam. Oh my god. I remember when making my rank list for residency programs, think location was something I was brought up to my seniors, where when in doubt between two places, choose the place you would most want to live. And I want to talk about that because especially being in, I would very much say, a smaller city, if you could even call it that. New Haven is great. I think it fulfills a lot of things, but there's definitely a lot to be desired. And big components that I wish I paid attention to a lot more when choosing where I went to residency. I think I rationalized being in New Haven a lot because it's like a quick train ride to New York, and by quick I mean like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and like just under 2 hour drive to Boston. And I was like, that's close enough to major cities. But what I didn't think about was I'm like an hour away from the nearest major airport, and it has very limited flight options, which makes it really hard for people to visit me and for me to effectively visit other people around the country and around the world. And when your time is so limited in residency and the free time that you have is often spontaneous, either that or like the quick day or two, it really restricts you to the immediate area for which you can travel and see people. Is it entirely possible to hop on a plane and then come back in just one day? Yes, but is that a financially wise decision as a resident? Probably not. To be entirely honest, I had Chicago and the Research Triangle area very, very high on my rank list, as well as Yale, obviously. And I often wonder what life would look like if I was in a major city with a bigger airport. Would I feel more connected? Would I be able to have more spontaneous fun and traveling? Because that to me is a big part of my own wellness, and I feel like I haven't really gotten the chance to do that much of it, especially compared to my 4th and 3rd year med school, which, I mean, it's med school versus residency. It's hard to make a comparison. I just wish New Haven was more accessible. I wish it was easier for me to travel to visit the people I love, and I wish it was easier for the people I love to travel and visit me. And by pure logistics, it's easier in some cities than others. So choose your city wisely.
Number 2, your seniors and the residents that you work with on any rotation absolutely make or break the rotation. I would say even more so than a good or bad attending. And you feel it a lot more in residency than you do as a medical student, because like I think people as med students will say, yeah, that's true at that stage of learning, but believe me when I say your seniors will save you.
Take for example my good friend and one of my seniors times 2 on 2 different rotations, Ron.
Dude, I feel so bad for the senior coming on tonight. He's gonna be like, what is this?
Who's the senior do we know?
I'm gonna shout you out because this is what we did in the workroom. This is delirium precautions. Delirium precautions. Should be unholy trinity right here.
Your parents should cry or your parents should laugh.
¿Por qué no los dos? When someone is so brain rotted where like you just understand each other on the same wavelength, it makes the day go by so much faster. And even when things are chaotic and super, I mean, really sad at times, you can go back and realize that you have support of people who understand what you're going through, especially who are more senior, who knows what it's like to be in your shoes as an intern and are willing to guide you through just the trials and tribulations of that period of training. There are times when you're gonna need seniors who are really caring and understanding of you, like my senior on my MICU rotation who literally dragged us out of the building when it was snowing just so that we could have some sort of joy and happiness, team, wellness time. And there's a time and place for that, but then there's a time and place for the senior who goes, you know what? This room has no windows. We need delirium precautions up. Yes, those were printed windows. Did our attending walk into our workroom and look at us like we were actually insane? It's a pretty good diagnosis. But like, even when you're not on rotations, being able to have co-residents that you love to interact with, that are going through this thing by your side, really does make or break your entire experience. And I hope that when you're on this interview trail, applying to residency, you find places that will cherish you for everything that you bring to the table. Your personality, your interests, your highs, lows, and buffaloes. Those are programs you want to be at because you're going to probably see them more than your family, more than probably your partner at times. It's just, that's how this life is as a resident doctor. And it's always said you become most like the 5 closest people in your life, or like the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So try to make those 5 people in your residency program pretty smart. Or if you want to make them the most silly gooses in the entire world and become one yourself, yeah, I mean, you can do that too. And then my last lesson of this entire period up until now of intern year, and this is gonna be a selfish plug more than anything. Every single day, I'm on a medicine, EM, surgery, rotation, anything that's not anesthesia. I thank God that I went into anesthesia. Now don't get me wrong, there are amazing parts of surgery as well as internal medicine, even my emergency medicine colleagues. There are parts of each of those specialties that I absolutely love and I love being a part of for this short little bit of time. But I realized very quickly, I absolutely hate the whole disposition workflow. I don't enjoy that you don't get to spend too much time talking with your patients on surgery. Emergency medicine burns you out so quickly because I think you really are the armpit and the front lines of the American healthcare system. So a lot of the anger and frustration and I think the cruddy parts of this country are most in your face exposed in emergency medicine. But then when I'm back at the ORs and I understand a little bit more about the critical care side of what we're doing on the anesthesia end, combine that with understanding the workflow of surgery a little bit more, combine that with all the time I've spent on the internal medicine wards and talking to these patients who are waiting for surgery over the past several days being inpatient. It makes me so happy because anesthesia is the one specialty that you can only do medicine. And that's the thing. Dare I say, being a doctor is easy if it was just medicine. The problem is medicine is probably like 35 to 40% of what the job is. The other 60% is a lot of like the social issues and the not physiology, anatomy, or pharmacology that we learn. That stuff is really cool, but there's a lot of art to medicine that is not taught in med school. But like anything, in excess is a bad thing. And so anesthesia allows you to have that little bit of art of medicine, both in the operating room as well as in the in-between stages of rolling the patients back and making them feel comfortable, prioritizing their pain relief afterwards. And then it allows you to just focus on that one patient and the medicine behind them. And that to me is so, so cool. I think my time away from anesthesia during my intern year has made me appreciate it even more and makes me even more excited to come back to the ORs and the proper side of the drape in, what'd I say, 130 days? Yeah. So in conclusion, it's been a very, 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 very busy year, and it's only been like a little bit over 6 months through. But I hope to finally have fun again with YouTube and doing this whole thing in residency. I think there have been times, especially over the past 6 months, that I wasn't really having fun. So I'm trying to rediscover that and bring this channel back to its roots of sharing stories, other people's, and as well as mine. Congratulations to everybody submitting rank lists right now, and I look forward to seeing all the happy and fun stories on match day. Meanwhile, I gotta finish out the surgery rotation, so